We're going to present to you today on the Muni Transit Ambassador Program Informational Session. An overview of the presentation will include about the City and County of San Francisco, the Muni Transit Ambassador Program, submitting applications. We'll also go into details about the application tips, and we'll help you answer any questions that you may have, and also provide questions of what the community may be asking. A little bit about the City and County of San Francisco. We are led by our mayor, Mayor London Breed. We are a huge workforce. As you can imagine, we have over 70 different departments, one of them being the SFMTA. However, when you think of career opportunities with the city, we have a large choice of opportunities. We are also one of the largest employers of the City and County of San Francisco, having over 34,000 employees. Many people ask, where are the jobs located when working for the City and County of San Francisco? And many of those positions are in the City of San Francisco. So when looking for work, please note that we do have we have transportation options, but again, most of our jobs will be in the City of San Francisco. Some of the various different departments that we have in addition to SFMTA include, but are not limited to, Department of Technology, Planning Department, the Port, San Francisco Environment, the Library, Airport, 311, and many more. We thank you for your interest in working for SFMTA, as again, with over 70 different departments, you wanted to decide to choose this one. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Muni Transit Ambassador Program, we're going to go into details about that. I'm going to pass it to the lead, Margot Reed, to discuss further about the program. Margot?
Thank you so much, Portia. Wow. First of all, I'm going to introduce one of the founders of this program. This program has been going on for over 20 years in many shapes and forms. And one of the people that can really sort of give us an insight as to how this program started and leading us up to where we are now are my friends over at MTAP, Daisy and Marcel. Daisy?
Yes, so just give you a brief history of the MTAP program. The MTAP program started back in '97 when the former Mayor Willie Brown got together with the nonprofit organizations called TURF and RAP, and there was an increase in violence on Muni lines. You know, back then they used to pull the cable lines off the buses. So he got a bunch of individuals like myself and helped us brainstorm on ways that we could help reduce crime on Muni. So we hired people from various communities to come together and work in those communities that you lived in or you were familiar with. And during that time, we were able to reduce crime by like 30%. With that being said, Muni realized that it was very successful what we were doing, and they decided to adopt it in 97. So in 97, Muni picked it up and became a program. And our goal is to hire people from various communities throughout San Francisco and give them the opportunity to give back to those communities, work in the communities that you're familiar with, familiar faces, offer support, customer service, assistance, to just everyday riders, let them know that, we're there to assist them in any way we can. Our goal is to also help individuals from high crime neighborhoods get into the workforce or get back into the workforce and train them and group them into something more permanent throughout the city. As you know, we ride a lot of lines throughout San Francisco, lines that are known for high congestive, ridership, as well as post and load designated spots that are transfer points for a lot of Muni lines. So our goals are to train people, we have to make sure that people understand also you're riding through a lot of neighborhoods throughout the city. So it's good to get familiar, individuals that are familiar with the city and people with different, walks of life, and being able to work around that. That's our goal, and to get them the experience, the education to help transition to something more permanent within the city.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Marcel? Unmute. The mute button, maybe?
Sorry, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So my name is Marcel. I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit about what we do here at MT. Basically, I've been here 16 years, seen a lot of things, and just the daily activities from 9910 is basically you come here at 9:30 in the morning, you attend briefing or roll call, and during that roll call, we basically discuss the things that happened the previous day before for teams that might be in the area, also to receive your work assignment. After you get your work assignment, you get out, you ride your assigned lines, and during that time, it is goal to basically de-escalate events or things that happen on the bus. Um, Pretty much, you go to your school, you check in, and you let your counselors know that you're going to be around in that area, and you're basically assisting them with you're basically helping them with everything going on in that area. I'm sorry, you guys. You're providing service to the schools to support middle school and high schools throughout the San Francisco area. You're going to be working with the youth in the community, documenting student counts, posting and loading at transfer points. Also, you prepare reports for supervisors and incident for disruptive behavior that happens in the area. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much a overall day with MTAP.
Thanks so much, Marcel.
Okay.
I appreciate that. You want to go, Daisy or Marcel, do you want to go into a little bit of the making an impact, or I can just jump in here? The MTAP program itself teaches you the skills necessary to not only do the public relations work of MTA, but as an ambassador, you work with San Francisco communities and support over 700,000 riders daily. It doesn't mean you hit all 700,000 every day. It means that your impact on making sure that we have a safe, successful ride means that 700,000 people a day get to their destinations without a hitch. That's a pretty awesome responsibility, and one in which the MTAP, the transit ambassadors, take seriously and do well and are asked for often. So let's talk about how you can become part of this team. On the DHR website, you'll see that the MTAP 9910 trainee recruitment is available for viewing. It'll be available for you to actually apply on the 12th of July. But before then, we wanted you to have the opportunity to read about what the job is and to work with friends, families, or just yourself to fill out a master application. And Portia will talk about that more in a little bit. Once you fill out your application and you feel like, hey, it's ready, then as soon as it is open to submit, you should submit. It'll be in just about a week and a half or so. Your application shows that you're qualified for the MTAP trainee position, and then you take an assessment. Now, the assessment itself is pretty cool because it's really just a touch of what you learn for grades 1 through 5. Notice what I said, grades 1 through 5. That's as far as we go on the assessment. We need to know that you can read and write at the 5th grade level. For those of you who graduated from high school and college and others, this sounds like it's really simple. Trust me, I need you to take your time when you're asked to fill out the assessment and fill it out as accurately as you can, because that's how we determine who moves on to the interview. Let that sink in for a second. Little bitty assessment, 20 questions at the 5th grade level, determine whether or not you move on to the interview. At the interview, you will shine and show the interview panelists how wonderful and great you are. And then we are faced with a very tough task of identifying the top 20 candidates to move on to the program. But it doesn't end there. After 6 months, we will do a reevaluation as a department to determine if we need any more help and assistance. And if that is determined, then we will have a second round of selections as well. We won't know that until the first round is in their spot and working for the first 6 months. The training program itself lasts for 3 years. I'm going to repeat that. The training program itself lasts for 3 years. Giving you a chance to look at the minimum qualifications, sort of soak it in while I'm talking. In those 3 years, you will be given the opportunity to learn many different ways to de-escalate a situation, many ways to communicate effectively with a crowd, with an individual, with an older person. Because remember, this job is a little bit of customer service and a little bit of peacekeeper. Notice I did not say police enforcement. That is not what your job is. Your job is to keep the peace, to keep it moving, if you will. We want to make sure that we have a robust crew that rides the buses, that makes sure that young people don't get so engrossed in their cell phones that they forget that they could be snatched out of their hands. That older people get a little guidance because sometimes they don't always understand what came over the speaker or can't remember exactly what their stop looks like because, San Francisco is changing. So they may need a little help with, hey, is this my shop? Is this Geary? Is this Kearney? Is this where I get off? That's where the ambassadors come in and support. The other big thing here, and this started with Sulu Pulega, one of the original managers of this program, is that you may not yet have finished your high school diploma. You may be partially there. You may have started your GED, but have not finished yet. This program allows you 3 years, or until June 30th of 2025, to complete your GED studies on your own time and after work, but it gives you 3 years to complete your GED studies so that you can both complete this program and meet the MQs for the program. We've also partnered with Bayview YMCA and San Francisco JVS to assist once you've made this program. If you've been hired and you need to finish your GED, they will help you on a program so that you can finish your GED. But that's not the only thing we do. When it comes to childcare and other issues, we have community partners that can help. We can try to find solutions to your problems so that you can work. Being a part of this is like being a part of a family. And we have many cousins, aunts, and uncles to help us move this program forward and help you succeed. Thank you. Marcel or Daisy, do you want to talk about the training programs?
Yeah. So we have various training programs that we offer once you come board. It's not limited. There's times that other training might come about while you're still on the job, which our goal is to offer as much training as possible. A lot of the training courses are in person, some are online, and some are at City College. Um, we try to train everybody to be able to transition into the 9166. That's our goal, as well as be able to transition into like the PCA, take the course of PCA 32 at City College, so you can qualify to apply, for example, the proof of payment. Uh, you could also qualify for park ranger or airport security with the PCA 32. We also try we're going to offer customer service training, so you can apply for other jobs that require customer service training, for example, like 311, station agent, or any other not necessarily have to be Muni, but other city and county. You don't necessarily even need to be a city and county. It could be a nonprofit organization that requires customer service training. So our goal is to offer as much training as possible where you qualify for different positions throughout the city. If there's trainings that maybe you find once you come on board that you might find beneficial to the whole group, we will definitely look into that as well. We do offer training, for example, respect in the workplace, harassment, lead to succeed, customer focused communication, emotional intelligence, and then we offer conflict resolution training, that's one of our main trainings. So you are dealing with individuals from different walks of life and different neighborhoods throughout the city that are at-risk neighborhoods, definitely the conflict resolution is our main focus. One thing I want everybody to understand is with MTAP, like I said, most of the individuals that come work for us are from different neighborhoods. So they do have that street knowledge on how to deal with individuals from different walks of life, whether they have mental issues or don't have mental issues. It's our goal is to train you on how to speak to people in a way that, they'll understand you and you understand them, and be empathetic, that sometimes it's not you that they might not like, it's what you represent. And we're going to train you on how to respect that and how to get the respect in return from people from various communities. Once they get to see you and notice you, you'll notice the big change that a lot of community members do come to us when they have issues, because they know we know how to handle the issues. And not only that, but if you're from those neighborhoods, 9 out of 10, you're gonna know one of the kids from the schools that we cover, or you're gonna know their parents, or you're gonna know the uncles or the aunties. And like Margot said, we're like a big family. We try to look out for each other. Our goal is not to get the kids in trouble or get them arrested or anything like that. Our goal is to offer them guidance, offer them, partner them up with our nonprofit organizations where they, join a Big Brother, Big Sister program. That's our goal, is to make sure that these kids understand that we're there to assist them and not to cause them, any harm or anything like that. So that's the trainings that we offer you are for that. So if you ever also want to join group homes, we've had individuals get the training in conflict resolution for youth, and we're able to get jobs at group homes. So like I said, our goal is to, groom you into a job that's going to benefit you. That's definitely our goal.
Thank you so much, Daisy. And now let's hear from Rashid.
And thank you, everybody. I hope you can hear me. Daisy, I really appreciate what you presented, Marcel as well. I met these two individuals, I want to say, 3 to 5 years ago, maybe. And when we talk about a family, I just want to lift up that I definitely see the care of community, the care of people that Marcel and Daisy absolutely represent on a regular basis. I've seen Daisy do a lot of different things, see her drop people off and all kind of support. And that doesn't necessarily fall in her job, but that's something that she represents, especially being from the community. As a person who ran a nonprofit for many years in the peninsula, it is very important that we lift up sort of the methodology and the thought process of why SFMTA. And thinking about all of the things that Daisy just presented, all of the trainings therein, A key part of it, and I see it, some of it in the chat, is about de-escalation. And more importantly, as people that work in the community that have to work with people that have challenges, and sometimes us having challenges of our own, recovery, safety, thinking about the approach, being culturally competent, being whole as an individual is a very important piece about doing this work, but more importantly, being the best you that you can be. So why SFMTA? Our program is an opportunity to earn a salary while learning the skills necessary to succeed in a high demand customer service and community service careers within the city and county of San Francisco. But I want to lift up again, it is this program hopefully will have you as a destination as an employee of the city and county of San Francisco, and maybe even hopefully SFMTA. But more importantly, this is also a career training opportunity for whichever way that you might want to go. We wholly believe that even as a part of doing service and learning on the job with us and actually providing services to the city of county citizens of the county of San Francisco, that we also are interested in preparing whoever comes through our program for the jobs of tomorrow as well as the jobs of today. I use the word job, but when we lift up the word career, we're more interested in setting you up for career. We want long-term investment in yourself, and that's why we're providing some levels of investment in you as a part of the program if you are accepted into it. What is our approach? Culturally competent and community-centered approach. What does that mean? Being from the community is a valuable asset. It is probably the most valuable asset that we have as people before we ever train anyone on anything. Who you are as a person is a key ingredient and an important ingredient as a part of the training program, because we don't want to lose who you are as a part of this training approach or this program. What does community-centered mean? Well, we have to really honor not only the work that we're trying to do in the community, but we also have to honor who the community has been and what the community has historically represented. And so we never want to lose that as a part of the work that we do, whether it be through the training program or the services that we provide. It's on the job. The customer service and de-escalation training is not only in the so-called classroom, but it happens in the work that we do on a regular basis. Why is this important? It helps us with career tracks. It helps us with social mentoring and professional mentoring, because of course, working with people like Marcel and Daisy, you'll see them every day. Feedback is happening rapidly and constantly, and we want to encourage that environment. This public service experience that we're talking about is not only just government employee, but it's about really serving the community, not only as a person that represents whatever community you might come from, but as an ambassador of SFMTA. And then last but not least in that logic is peer and career coaching. So peers would be Marcel, Daisy, and anybody else that you come through the program with, or anyone else that serves in that particular capacity. But we also want to expose you to other people within the agency that have various career tracks, because we know this may not be your last destination, but we do want to provide opportunities to think about and source other particular career tracks that you may be interested in. And we want to bring that to your doorstep and provide the opportunity for you to discuss with those people about their career track, their potential educational tracks, and how they've thought about building a career in a life. When thinking about all of this, the impact of this employment opportunity, as far as we're concerned as an agency, and as far as we're concerned as leaders of this particular program, is we understand that employment has a key effect on whether or not we're able to source housing or better housing. What are the educational opportunities that we may have, or maybe even our children may have? Because of course, income plays a key ingredient to where you live, how much money you may earn, and what are the opportunities to provide services for not only your family, but also possibly your children and anybody else by extension that may exist. As we know, with housing, with employment, with educational access, there are more positive health outcomes. And this is what all the research shows. So all of these things flow into each other. And then of course, as a primary service delivery, as Margot was representing, is crime reduction. And in thinking about that, when she says peacekeeper, we're thinking about all of this as a holistic peacekeeping, because as we know, being employed, being able to find housing, having educational access, positive outcomes, and a crime-reduced environment creates peace not only for the community that we work in, but it creates peace for us as well. So I want to thank you for joining us today. And I hope that gives you a small nugget of sort of the spirit of what we're trying to present here, the spirit of what Marcel and Daisy represent as leaders of this particular program, and what SFMTA, as well as the City and County of San Francisco, would love to do as part of this journey for you and your career path. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Rashid. I just had a couple of questions that I want to shout out there and see if I can get some responses. And one of the first ones, and this one's for you, Daisy. One of the questions is this a full-time job, and can I work it part-time?
We do not have part-time. Yes, it is a full-time job. It is Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and after you're done with your training, 10:30 to 7, 2 weeks out of the month. Yeah.
Thank you. Now this one's for you, Marcel. Do we have to change our hair, cut our beard, or change our hair color to do this job? Can I keep my locks?
Not at all. Don't change yourself at all. We accept you as you are. We welcome you as you are. We all wear different hairstyles and shape differently around here. So please come as you are.
Thank you so much. Daisy, if I get hired for this program, is there housing assistance available that comes with being a part of this program?
No, we don't have housing assistance as far as within Muni, but we do have partners that we work with, a nonprofit organization that we could direct you to that could possibly help you with that.
And as a follow-up, maybe you, Marcel, are there any support services you provide for childcare and family counseling if we get accepted into the program?
Actually, I'm sorry, Margot. Dave would know more about that side of it. The
Not a
child care
problem.
part.
Daisy?
As far as childcare, nope, don't have it. But as far as family counseling, yes, we offer a family counseling through SFMTA, through peer counseling and Claremont.
Excellent. Maybe Marcel, you know this one. Do we get medical and dental as part of the program?
Absolutely. Medical, no retirement. Some of the best coverage I've ever had. So come get it.
So I just wanted to add one final piece, and that is I'm often asked the question about education. The training that was mentioned earlier is paid training. This whole program is a paid training program to include the classes at City College, to include all of the customer service training and other trainings that were mentioned and shown on the slides earlier. That's all part of your workday as it's intertwined over the 3 years. The only thing that is not paid is your GED. If you have to get your GED, we give you 3 years to get it done. We provide you links and partnerships with JVS and Bayview Y to make sure that you have all of the support you need to do it, but that has to happen on your own time.
Margot, thank you so much. I think this is a phenomenal way of getting information out. Before we transition into talking about the application process, Margot, there are some more questions in the chat that I would love to bring to your attention. If you could help us answer those questions. If not, and you find that they should wait to the end, let us know. Question number 1. We have an applicant that states, any specific job experience that would make an individual a strong candidate for this position? In addition to that, how computer illiterate do applicants need to be?
So computer literacy is not a requirement of this job, but we hope by the time you're done in the 3 years that you will have a level of literacy that will allow you to succeed in any of the customer service jobs that we have available, including our own 9166.
Thank you, Margot.
Okay.
Anything more you want to add to that?
Oh, I was just going to say, in terms of job experience, etc., we're accepting people from high school on. So your experience, whether it's maybe you take care of kids at home, maybe you take care of your family's kids, anything that shows that you have some level of responsibility, or that you've taken on a level of responsibility, would be welcome.
Fantastic. Marcel and Daisy, I believe this is a question for you, but Margot, feel free to jump in. What are some of the procedures to de-escalate emergencies or keep us and our community safe while using our MTAP services?
So once you come on board, we'll actually train you on that because it's more hands-on. You would have to be here to actually see it, because the thing is that it's different situations are dealt with differently. So that depends on the situation that comes offhand. So I'll give you an example actually from just a situation is you're always a partner. So let me make that very clear. You're always with the partner. And our goal is to make sure that if you see two people arguing, for example, the way I deal with that is normally I'll stand between both individuals and I'll be like, how's your day today? What's going on? And then by the time they realize that their stop is coming up and they forgot they were arguing with the person behind them, I just hold the conversation with them and like, man, it's hot today or it's cold today. And then my partner is talking to the other person. And like I said, by the time their bus stop comes, they're like, oh, okay, well, great, thank you, have a great day. And that's just one example. So it all depends on what type of incident you come across.
Thank you, Daisy. Another question, and Daisy, maybe you could continue to support us through this. What areas of San Francisco do the ambassadors mostly cover?
Oh, it's all areas of San Francisco. So I always tell everybody, if you have issues going through different neighborhoods, I don't suggest this job for you. Just for the simple fact that I didn't want to risk anybody's life because they can't go through a certain neighborhood. So you have to be able to go through different neighborhoods throughout the city. From Fillmore to the Mission to Hunters Point to Sunnydale, you have to be able to transition through anywhere, because we do work with the Unified School Districts. So we cover areas surrounding those schools throughout the city, and it means you would go through different neighborhoods throughout the city.
Thank you, Daisy. Margot, this question is for you and Rashid. If the city deals with budget cuts for any reason regarding transportation, is SFMTA impacted? And if so, what are the employees supported? Will this position, MTAP program, be affected by any type of cuts? Sorry, Margot, you're on mute.
Unmute Margot.
So what I can say without hesitation is that for the 3 years that you are involved in this program, you are covered. The person that's hired will finish their entire 3 years.
Thank you, Margot. Rashid, anything you would like to add to that?
Nope, I love it. It's kind of a circle around these positions for that little season.
Perfect, thank you. Margot, how comfortable do you feel with continuing questions? Our community is very engaged.
Well, I think it would be great after you finish your presentation on how to get hired, and then we can pick it up again.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna hold off on questions. We currently do see you all in the queue. We wanna continue adding more sauce to our presentation. So let's continue on, discuss the application process, and we'll take all your questions at the end. Without further ado, let's get started with talking about the application. So again, as you start thinking about this position, the opportunities that this position has in store for you, we want to go forward and looking at the job announcement. In a couple minutes, we will drop the link to the job announcement for your review. However, for the ones that are looking at the recording, we advise you that you ensure that you're reviewing the minimum qualifications on the job announcement. Again, we want to ensure that you are meeting the minimum qualifications for the job announcement. So it's important to look at the anchor listed minimum qualifications. Once you've identified that you meet the minimum qualifications, even from the conversation that Margot informed you of on the slide, you want to make sure that your application reflects the minimum qualifications. For example, if it states that you need a high school diploma, it is very important to get some type of proof of your high school diploma or any type of understanding of letters, transcripts, anything that you can provide us that you will or have completed high school. Please note that if you do not meet the minimum qualification for the job, the analyst listed on the job announcement will disqualify you. You will have 7 to 10 business days to provide the verification needed to ensure that you are indeed qualified to meet the minimum qualifications for this job. Let's discuss a little bit about the work history section. There's an application that you're going to review. On the application, what's really important is ensuring that you are putting your work history correctly. Please note that it is actual real people reviewing your application. In addition to that, it is a computer that's going to calculate your dates of employment. I repeat, there are actual real people reviewing your application. However, there is the computer that will calculate your dates of employment. What that means is that for any job that requires education, work experience, and a minimum length of time, you want to ensure that you have that amount of time. For example, 1 year of full-time experience is equivalent to 2,000 hours. I repeat, 1 year of full-time experience is equivalent to 2,000 hours. In addition to that, we encourage you to write your job description. Again, please do not put C resume. You will automatically be disqualified from the application. However, we do ask that if you want us to see your resume, you may have an option to upload it, but we will not grade that as meeting the minimum qualifications. All of your experience will need to be in the application. Now, we're going to move on to some application tips in regards to this position. So make sure you complete a master application. Again, for this situation, the position is currently open right now. So you will have an ability to go online right after this and apply for the position. You want to ensure that you meet the minimum qualifications. You want to ensure that you get your high school diploma or verification in place. And you want to make sure you treat your analyst as a resource. The analyst listed on the job announcement is the only person that can respond to your email. Please do not reach out to any of the participants presenting today. That includes Daisy, Marcel, Rashid, or myself. All questions should go to the analyst. Please give yourself enough time to complete the application. Have any supporting documents ready in the case they're ever asked for, and always keep copy of that job announcement. You never know when you're going to need it to review it in the case that you are selected for an interview.
Hello?
Without further ado, we're going to let Margot continue asking questions. We ask that if you have any questions, you put that in the chat. We have Margot's information here, who's our recruitment analyst. Margot can be reached by email only. Margot's email is here. However, we ask that you complete the application fully before reaching out to the analyst. With that, we are going to pause and answer questions.
Hey, thanks so much.